Well, good morning. Merry Christmas.
Hello, good
Happy
morning.
holidays. Welcome to the pod.
Yes, good morning. Unfiltered moment.
We have a shared one today,
We
huh?
do. We do. It's grief.
Mhm.
Grief at the holidays.
Yeah.
Is anybody else in this club with us? Where like
Oh,
maybe not all of the holidays feel so merry and bright?
I am sure so
I
many
would guess.
people. Yeah.
I would guess.
Well, I had
Yeah.
a very close person to me pass a few years ago, right around Christmas. So my family and I usually really feel it around this time of the year. It's
Of course.
holding both. It's holding that grief and the sadness and that like hollow heart and that drop in your stomach with the glitz and the joy and the
Mhm.
and still having a little child that you make it magical for. So it's like seeing them and the joy of experiencing all of these holidays for the first time through their eyes. And it's so beautiful and wonderful and that's so joyful.
Yeah.
And
Heavy.
yeah, and heavy and incorporating, it was my father-in-law that passed. So then incorporating him into the holidays and always remembering him, talking about him and living on traditions, making new traditions. So holding both. So this is a great reminder for me to hold both and for all of you to hold both if you're experiencing grief.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really real. Yeah, my grief is losing my sister. I've shared here before, but Halloween day, and then 6 weeks later, my youngest daughter was born,
Mm-hmm.
December 14th. So we're right
Gosh,
coming up on her
right there.
birthday.
You're so freshly postpartum
Yes,
too, going into
yes,
Christmas.
yeah. Right, having a Christmas baby. That's a whole
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
whole other thing. Well, not actually Christmas, but so close. And then, yeah, all of the newborn feels and postpartum feels while holding grief, while holding the holidays and the firsts for all
And
those.
so soon after Halloween, that's so fresh
Yeah,
coming off of that grief. I'm sure you were just in shock and denial.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know really what to say about that other than we just kind of both sat on this couch this morning and acknowledged like there's kind of some heaviness today. Like it's just kind of some sad stuff on the heart and just wanted to be really honest about that happens with everybody, therapists or
Yeah.
not.
We are all humans and
Right.
we all
Right.
feel it. So
So there's room for that here.
what it makes me think of is maybe during this holiday season to light a candle and to think about the person that you are honoring that has passed. And at the same time, while you're thinking about that person, maybe think about all the other people in the world that are with you grieving their losses and the people that they have left.
Oh, that's really beautiful. And there's an interesting parallel that's coming up for me. So being a birth doula,
Mm-hmm.
so often a comforting phrase can be like, think of all the other women around the world
Yeah.
that are giving birth in this very
That's
moment.
exactly what I was thinking of. That's where I got the idea. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, birth and death. There are so many parallels.
Yes.
But so how beautiful to think about like I'm not alone in my pain,
Yeah.
you
Think
know.
of all of the other people that are in this with you that
Yeah, and a
we can all
candle.
hold each other.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. That's beautiful symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got me thinking I might want to like try to find a candle with a really just gentle, comforting scent and like continue to use it like for that purpose.
Yeah.
Like whenever I'm missing Angela or I mean, I light that candle every day, so I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, on those death anniversaries though, maybe, and on the holidays, on some of those more momentous
Or
days.
times when you're celebrating something special and you wish they were with you there celebrating that.
I
That would be
love
really
that.
nice.
What a great idea.
Mhm.
I
I
love
have
that.
one like that. It's called champagne toast. And so
Oh,
each time I'd want to have like a champagne toast with that person.
sweet.
And light champagne
I
toast.
love that. So today, as we are entering, we're very, very deep into the holiday kind of planning times and starting to have parties and things like that around this time of year. We really wanted to talk about specific things that we can do to tend to our heavy hearts, to make it through these times. And I feel like the goal is not thriving, it's surviving, but also maybe the goal is like staying present.
Mm-hmm.
staying present enough to know what our feelings are and acknowledge them and notice the joyful moments along the way.
Yeah. Maybe the goal is just to stay in your body.
Yeah.
No matter what's happening, whether you're
Mm.
grieving, whether you're overstimulated, whether your child parts are being activated by your family members because you're back home and you're like right in it. You feel like you're a teenager again, or you get into a conflict with a partner. So whatever is happening in your life, or you're feeling sad because you're home alone and, you are not celebrating with anyone this year. Whatever is happening in your life, I think these skills could be really helpful. And these are not just, we can use these as holiday survival skills, but they can really be used at any time in your life.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that. To stay in your body, that is the goal. Okay, so something that I talk with clients a lot about, usually it's around the topic of confidence and, like a job interview or going into a difficult conversation. But I think it could be really helpful in just staying in your body. It's power positions.
Ooh, tell us more. What are power positions?
There's a really great YouTube video. It's a TED Talk. I can't remember the gal who ran the TED Talk, but I share it with a lot of clients. And it just talks about how so often, especially women, we are so good at getting small.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look even how we sit sometimes.
Yeah.
Try to make ourselves as small as possible.
Unconsciously. Yeah.
Yep.
Our legs are crossed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing a skirt, but I'd like to show you how a man might sit. I think we all know. We don't need the visual. We know.
I can demonstrate for the visual. We take up space.
Absolutely.
So our legs are uncrossed
And
and,
if I'm
they
sitting-
are wide.
Yeah, if I'm sitting by you, it's like, okay, how do I leave enough room for him and make myself small?
There you go.
You're so right. So it's about taking up space. And there is something very, very primal instinct to get big.
Mm-hmm.
Make yourself as big as you can so you don't look like a victim, like out in the wild. If you think about wild animals, they want to appear big. They don't want to appear small and vulnerable. And so us as mammals, we can tell our nervous systems if we get big, if we put our shoulders back, if we take up space.
So Carrie is
really
raising her arms right now. She's
standing up.
wide.
Yes, taking up as much space as you can, putting your shoulders back. If you can do that, it sends your brain a message that I am safe, that I'm safe, that I am present, that I
don't have to hide.
Yes, and that I'm not vulnerable. So I actually did some of these power positions right before taking my LMFT ethics or my LMFT exam, the last one,
the oral
exam. Thank you. Because I was so nervous that I'm like, okay, I just need to show up as my strongest self. And I coach clients a lot of times before going into a stressful situation. Look yourself in the mirror, in the eyes, in the mirror, get big, go in the bathroom stall if you have to, whatever it is, but practice breathing into having a big body, an embodied body. There's all kinds of power positions, and I could even link that TED Talk. It's a really great talk about the science behind why that works.
We'll link that in the show notes and put it on our Instagram.
Yeah.
I love that because I think that would be so helpful for people that are maybe in families where they grew up feeling like I need to be small. I can't speak up for myself. It's unsafe to do that. And so practicing this, if you feel like, okay, I'm ready for this, it's safe for me to practice this.
Yeah.
Because there might be some situations where it might not be, where you're like, I'm not ready for that. But if you feel like, okay, I've maybe worked with my therapist, I'm ready to come into my family in this way. I'm ready to show up. And, I am not stuck. I can leave if I need to. This is different. I'm not a child anymore. And so showing up in this way, I'm not invisible. I'm not small. I can take up space.
I love that. Even the little act. So I was talking about preparing yourself. You're not going to stand big like with your family, but it might be that's a preparation. But then when you're in this space, it's watching your body language. It's leaning into conversations instead of shrinking back.
Beautiful.
It's opening your shoulders. It's uncrossing your arms. All of these postures just show your brain and reassure your brain that I am safe right now. It's little things, but that can make a really big difference.
It's huge.
planting your feet on the ground instead of crossing your legs like I continue to do. What comes to mind for you as some ways to stay in your body? Some practical coping skills.
Yeah. So if we notice that we might have come out of our body, and the way that we notice that, if we're feeling really overwhelmed or if we're starting to feel that fight or flight, so we're feeling really stressed or our heart is pounding or we're feeling a little buzzing, we might be feeling something in our stomach. So just checking in with our body, what we might be feeling. And then a way to regulate ourselves. One skill is practicing a sigh. So you can practice this today, or you can practice this before you go into stressful situations. But deep sigh can actually be really regulating for our nervous system. So this is once again from, I've shared this before on another episode, but the polyvagal card deck by Deb Dana. And she's got some really great tips, but I love to pull these out in sessions. So this says the power of a sigh. We sigh spontaneously throughout the day, but we can also intentionally sigh to momentarily interrupt the survival state and appreciate the experience of being anchored in safety. So if we feel pulled into that survival state, which is that fight or flight, how can we bring ourselves back into safety? And so it talks about experimenting with different sighs. So we can have some fun with this right now. So experiment with different sighs. Deep or shallow, loud or soft, through the nose or the mouth. With each sigh, look for subtle shifts in your state and thoughts. Connect with a moment of collapse. So think about a time when you were feeling really shut down or collapse, and breathe a sigh of despair. So do that. We're not going to breathe a sigh of despair into these microphones because that might scare you if you're driving or whatever you're doing. But just take a moment to, in your own kitchen or in the car, just right now, breathe a sigh of despair and see what that feels like. What does that sound like for you? And after that, move into a moment of mobilization and breathe a sigh of frustration. So just go ahead and take a moment to breathe a sigh of frustration. And you can even pause this and just check in with yourself. What does it sound like for me to breathe a sigh of frustration? And after that, end in the regulated energy and breathe a sigh of relief that you found your way here. Linger in that place of safety and connection and breathe a sigh of contentment. So breathe a sigh of just relief, feeling content, and see what that feels like. And so that can be such an interesting practice to practice throughout your day, to even see what does each sigh feel like and sound like. When I did this exercise right now, which one resonated with me the most? How do I kind of bring myself up?
Was there 3? Despair, frustration, and contentment?
Yeah.
I have never thought about there being different ways to sigh.
I didn't either.
That is fascinating.
I'm just like, but I'm like, I feel like that one is almost like relief or maybe despair.
Oh,
yeah. So
I wonder why that works. I wonder why that sends a message to our brains that we are safe.
Yeah. A sigh stimulates our vagus nerve.
Sure.
And the vagus nerve is activated when we feel calm, at peace, when we're meditating. So it sends a message to our vagus nerve. And, I was practicing this exercise with someone recently, and they told me, like, it feels validating too. And I'm like, oh, that's a great catch too. It feels like meeting ourselves where we're at. It feels like
you validated yourself.
Yeah. Like you allow yourself to be like, oh, it's like a self-validating, like, it's okay to be here. And I'm sitting with it. And
that's beautiful. Okay. Is there a certain amount of sighs we need to do to get to this place? The more sighs, the better, or just...
I mean, practice and play around with them until you start to notice a shift.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to start practice. I think that's a great practice in the car. Because I'm usually, lots of times with kids, but like on the way to pick up a kid or something, just, taking that time by yourself to kind of regulate your nervous system.
Yeah.
I love it.
I practice sighs a lot intentionally, and sometimes I do it during the workday. And so one thing that you can pair with it too is just to let out a big deep sigh and then just to kind of shake your body out. Just to like imagine everything dropping off, relieving everything.
Yes.
But I love the idea of doing it in the car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of shaking off, I just told a client this yesterday. There is something really grounding and helpful about, like, after a session, especially a particularly stressful emotional session. I'll tell clients, like,
Yeah.
wipe off your arm.
Same.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
quick, brisk, wipe off your arms, like, leave this in the space, walk away, and then come back, like, to kind of let your body know, okay, I have shed that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm leaving that behind for now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, also sprays, like grounding sprays with essential
sure.
oils. I was just talking to someone recently and they asked me, like, what is that thing you spray all the time? I like to spray this spray in my space and all over myself too. And it's got essential oils. It's really grounding, but it can be a metaphor for creating your own barrier and can also then
Mm,
breathing that in and taking that in can be really healing too.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, the more senses we can incorporate into these grounding exercises, the better.
Hmm.
Because then it reminds us, oh, yeah, we are living bodies in a body. Like, it's not just
Yeah.
our brains, like, we are fully integrated beings.
Yeah. Because so often we try to do the top-down approach of, like,
Yeah.
talking to ourselves of, like,
Yes.
"Okay, just get better. It's okay. It's not that bad. Like, why are you even so stressed?" But that doesn't work because our body's like, "Ah, I don't believe you."
Right.
And so the bottom up is ground our body first and calm our body first, so then we can access our brain and talk to our brain.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That just makes so much sense when you think back biologically, like, from the very beginning days of humans, like, yeah, body first, body
Body
first. I
first. That's
love
a good
that.
mantra for this holiday season.
Yeah,
Body first.
absolutely.
Body, yada, yada, yada. Just listen to that.
Just like that,
Yeah.
whenever you need it,
Yeah.
whenever you need a grounding moment. Another one I'm thinking of is just a simple breathing exercise. And with your 5 fingers, it's a tracing. So you trace, I'm going to start with my pinky, and it's breathing in through your nose,
So Carrie's going up her finger. She's going up her pinky and then
pausing,
pausing at the middle.
and then the exhale down.
And down the pinky.
And there's something really healing about, usually I tell people, breathe in through your nose for 4, pause for 1 or 2, and then out for 6.
Why is the longer exhale?
I knew you were going to ask that. I don't know why. I don't remember. But I've
That
heard it
stimulates your
over and
vagus
over
nerve
again.
again.
It's the vagus nerve.
It's the
It
vagus
always
nerve.
comes back
It
to the
all
vagus
comes
nerve.
back to the vagus nerve.
Yeah, it activates the vagus nerve when we breathe out longer.
Yep, when the exhale is longer.
Exhale. Okay, beautiful. I'm never going to forget that. So then you go up your ring finger in through your nose for 4, pause for 1 or 2 at the top of your finger, and out for 6 as you go down. So it's 5 inhales and exhales. It's just a nice reminder. And I think that sensory, back to like incorporating all the
Yes.
senses, the tracing is activating your sense of touch as you're breathing, right?
Mhm,
You could even
mhm.
up level that if you have a mantra, like, what did we
I'm
say?
safe.
Yeah, body first.
But yeah.
I am safe. If you need to hear that,
Mhm,
and repeating that 5 times as you're doing your inhale through the
I'm
nose.
enough.
Yes.
Mhm.
Exhale through the mouth. So, just a few practical things to keep in mind, and reminding yourself, if you're afraid that like people are going to notice these things, okay, take a 5-minute bathroom break and do it
Yeah,
in the bathroom.
do
Go
it under the
outside.
table. Like,
Absolutely.
as you're, waiting for a drink or a dessert or whatever, like, do it under the table on your leg and trace your fingers, or as you're talking to someone. Nobody has to know.
And a reminder too, nobody is paying as much attention to you as you feel like they are. They're
Yep.
paying attention to themselves and
Yep.
how they are showing up.
Exactly. Yeah. Most of the time, everyone is thinking about themselves. And if
Yeah.
they are paying attention to you, then it's once again probably about them
It's
because
their
it's about
stuff.
their own insecurity that they're projecting onto you or kind of
Right.
trying to look for in you.
Right.
Let's see. We've got a card again from that same deck. And this one I really like because it surprises a lot of people. So it's called the Calm Up.
Mm,
A lot of times we think that we have to calm down or that we have to,
yeah.
like thinking about regulating ourselves. We're like, oh, I just got to calm down. I just got to feel better. But this is actually using that energy you already have if you are feeling really fight or flight or really overwhelmed or anxious or, and using that energy to your advantage.
Okay.
So it says, rather than thinking about calming down, imagine moving up from that fight or flight. Calming up is a process of organizing that energy so that it changes from an overwhelming flood to an energizing flow. So reflect on a situation that pulled you into that survival energy of that fight or flight. Bring your awareness to the sensations in your body that evoked this memory. Invite an image to illustrate that experience. See what colors appear. So go ahead and just think about a recent time that you got pulled into fight or flight, what sensations and brought into your body as you think about that memory, and invite an image to illustrate that experience. So what image illustrates that? Does anything come up for you? Maybe it's a little spring, a little like coil, just like all
Sure.
little
Tight.
tight.
Yeah.
Create a statement that describes that moment. So it's like
And tightly
tense.
wound. Yeah.
Now imagine making a small change to that image or statement that moves you out of feeling caught in chaotic, disorganized energy towards engaging with the energy in a purposeful way. So maybe taking that spring and spreading it out like a slinky. So it's like, wide and takes up space. Speaking of, and stretching it out, making more flexible, changing it up. The goal is not to shut off the energy, but rather to engage with it and begin to move upwards towards regulation.
I love that. And it makes me feel like those stressful experiences can be productive.
Yeah.
I can morph it. I don't have to stuff it. I don't have to push it down. I can work with it.
Let's move through it. Yeah. Let's mold it. I like to think about it as like thinking of it as like clay or Play-Doh, and it's this thing, and it's like, okay, now it's flexible. I can mold it into something else. How can I work with it rather than against it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great tool. Okay, calm up.
Calm up.
I feel like that'd be a great one with kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these things, if we could learn them for ourselves and then share them with other
Modify
people.
it for kids.
Yeah.
Make it age appropriate.
Absolutely. Anything else coming to mind? Surviving the holidays. Working through.
The word that comes to my mind is gentle. So having a gentle holiday. I always say that in emails to clients too. And when I end a session with clients, I don't say like, oh, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, or I just say have a gentle holiday.
That just takes the pressure off too. I just love that. That's a great phrase. Yeah, being gentle with yourself, staying embodied, trying to stay present.
Acknowledging your grief, holding both.
And taking away the expectations that I should feel a certain way or behave a certain way. I can just be.
Have yourself a gentle little holiday. And if you are a Stranger Things fan, do you watch Stranger Things?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't think so. So for all of you Stranger Things fans, my gosh, I'm here with you and I'm so excited. And let's watch it on Netflix on Christmas because it comes out on Christmas.
On Christmas.
And the finale is in theaters on New Year's Eve. And I already booked my tickets. So
amazing.
My husband and I are, watching Stranger Things. It's going to be the best New Year's Eve ever. So
forget those.
Gonna go to Pilates. So we might have a little Prosecco and Pilates.
That sounds lovely. You're at the office?
Yeah.
Love it.
And then we're going
You're all invited
to dinner. And then we're going to watch Stranger Things in theaters and probably be home by like 10:30.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So have a gentle holiday, everyone.
Take good care of yourselves. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for hanging with us on This Is Not Therapy. If you enjoyed today's conversation, come back next time for more real talk, unfiltered moments, and maybe a little bit of laughter. Until then, take care of yourself, and don't forget, this is not therapy.